I am in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. We used to live here. We lived here for like 12 years and we haven't been back in 5 years. So it's a family vacation. We're doing family stuff, but I always like to squeeze in some time for some record shopping. So right behind me, you see the Goodwill. It's curiosity. Let's see if they have anything good. All right, so I had minimal luck in that section, and I was disappointed that the Back to the Future box set was missing one of the Blu-rays. That sucked, but let's head over to the electronics and see what's there. Check this out. These are Unico floor standing speakers. Is this a hidden gem? These speakers were originally made in China, but they used to be imported to Canada by a company called Unico Electronics. They were based in Edmonton. Now, looking on the internet, which I did here, I always got to look up stuff. They were introduced back in 2007 and disappeared soon afterwards. They had a steep sticker price. They had a range of models starting at $2,500. I don't know who would pay $2,500 for these speakers. If I lived in Edmonton, for the price, I think these are like $40 or something like that, 40 or $50 for the price, I would pick them up. I'm kind of curious. I mean, are they high-end audio? The cynic in me tells me that they're probably nothing more than a modern version of the old school white van speakers, but who knows? What else do we have here? These old stereos. This is always worth a look. See this turntable here. This is a Sanyo. It appears to be from the early 80s. I open it up here. It's really lightweight though. It's a very inexpensive turntable. Definitely not worth picking up and carrying 1,500 kilometers all the way back home. That's an interesting Sony receiver for $45. Again, if I live nearby, I'd be tempted to get that. Oh, these Yorks, a pair of twin York stereos, $35. I remember seeing these all the time. They were very low end. They used to sell them here at Wilco and sort of these department stores. Nothing to write home about there. Kenwood. Every time I see Kenwood, I always have to pause and take a close look. This is the AR404. It's a 2-channel receiver. They sell on the secondary market for about $50 and up. This one was going for $35. Again, based on the name Kenwood alone, I'd probably grab it if I lived locally. It does not have a phono input, but this is something that would probably be pretty good for a garage stereo or something like that. Again, I'm leaving it. What else is around here? More stereo stuff, tape decks, computer speakers, and down here, the Sony boombox. Man, this brings back memories. My friend George had this same model, exact same model when we were kids. I'm telling you, for $20, I'm tempted to pick this up. I'm so tempted to bring it home, but honestly, I don't need another boombox. I will leave that here for someone else, and I will just move on. Check out the compact discs. You know what? While I love CDs, I find it hard to read the sides of the CDs in the thrift stores, so I didn't spend too much time with them. Check out the movies one last time. Okay, full confession, Desperate Housewives. I've seen every episode with my wife Sherry, and I kind of got into that show back when it was on TV. Seinfeld, one of my favorite shows of all time. They had a few of these here for $5. Not a bad price at all. Overall, I'm impressed with the selection here at the Goodwill. There wasn't much for records, but in terms of electronics, you know, some decent stuff there, and movies, and even these VHS tapes for 99 cents a piece. I mean, even for a movie room, even if you don't use them anymore, good for displaying. Before I get out of here, I want to check out the under the counter stuff. I spotted these. I thought that they were records, but on closer inspection, they were laser discs, not records, not soundtracks, but laser discs. Leaving the Goodwill, I ended up finding nothing. I put that record back that I had in my hand. Then I actually had seasons 1 to 5 of Seinfeld in my hand. I think it was $20 for those 5 seasons. I almost got them. But then I looked and I figured, well, I can probably buy the entire series box set for a little bit more than that. So, didn't make any sense, but there are more record shops and thrift stores to hit on this vacation still, so we'll find something else. Let's hit one more thrift store before we leave Edmonton. This is Value Village. This is a location I used to go to all the time. This is near the Northern Alberta Institute of Technology, NAIT. I worked at NAIT for several years. I was the media relations guy. I actually drove by my old office. The parking lot was completely abandoned, so I don't know what's going on. I assume that maybe my former coworkers are all still working from home. Otherwise, I would have popped in and said hello. But I used to go here every lunch hour to this Value Village, and I would often find stuff, but I've become a little disenchanted with Value Village over the years. I mean, they're a for-profit place, and the prices have kind of gone over the top. But let's check this out. Let's see what we can find here. Just on first glance, this does not look very promising. Some VCRs and old satellite receiver, and basically all junk down here in this section. So let's make our way over to the media section, the physical media section. First thing I see, David Bowie's Let's Dance, used at a thrift store for $24.99, and then a Salt and Pepper for $29.99. Value Village, what the hell? And then a bunch of other typical thrift store stuff. But I mean, $25. Is that Bowie album even worth $25? Elvis is $7. Boney M. I mean, just at this point, I'm thinking this is this place is a waste of my time, man. Goodwill is so much better than Value Village. Godfather DVD collection. If it's Blu-ray, I would consider that, but DVD, I don't know, man. And for TV shows, it's okay, but for movies, you really need the Blu-ray. Jeff Healey CD, Rob Zombie. How much are these CDs? $5 for used CD. There were a buck or two at the Goodwill. Again, Value Village. Value Village is known as Savers in the US. Value Village / Savers. It's the exact same store. Again, not my favorite place, but I did find a lot of good things here before. But it looks like the pricing structure has changed dramatically. Well, $1.99. Okay, that's reasonable, but once you start getting to $5, I mean, they don't pay for these CDs. They're all donated. So, I don't know. Kind of disappointing. Check out the 45s here. Sheena Easton. Christopher Cross. Not too much. One last look at the movies. Blu-rays for $6. Man. They were $2 at the Goodwill. $5.99. That's not unreasonable. It's not horrible. Alright, one look over here. What do we have? Anything else interesting? Futurama. Source code. Blu-ray. $6. I'm noticing a theme here. Let's step out. It was worth visiting just for the nostalgia, but Unfortunately, I found nothing.
So, as you saw there, I found nothing in that Valley Village. I found it to be overly expensive, and sure, I was just at Valley Village. They had used records, like $25-30 for a used record at Valley Village.
Valley Village always overprices though. If you wanted to go somewhere good, go to like Goodwill or one of like the mom and pop thrift stores.
I used to find okay things there sometimes for a couple bucks, but not anymore.
Yeah, but they also went to like full profit. They don't even give their any of their proceeds to charities anymore. They try to run these charity programs, but it's all full profit now.
Try to avoid it. All right, you guys ready? Yeah. Find anything good?
Candy, of course.
Candy, all right. Let's go.